Okay, looks like we are on the air. The air of YouTube. Looks like we're live. And this, I'm gonna just wait a couple seconds here, make sure I got my email to her. I'm such an unorganized person, guys. I'm telling you. And it doesn't help that I have a really screwed up browser that never wants to obey or listen to what I'm doing. Oh, shit. Where is it? What's the email? Damn it. There we go. I think after this, from now on, I'm going to be more organized. I say this every day. I'm going to be organized tomorrow. I'm going to be organized the next day. Then I'm not. Let's see. Then I'm not. Okay. I got it. Wow. Today's question is Justin explains everything. Is there too much censorship today? Specifically in the United States, although I know there's a lot of censorship globally around the world, especially countries like China, Russia, obviously. But I want to focus more on the United States. Is there too much censorship going on in America right now, today? I notice lots of YouTubers are careful with choosing their words. A lot of social media personalities are afraid to touch on certain topics. So yeah, I think we got everything. I think I got the question covered here. Is there too much censorship today? The answer is yes. Capital Y, capital E, capital S. Yes. Way too much censorship today in 2022. And it's been this way for, I don't know, going on a decade now. It's been really, 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 really bad. At least the last 8 years. Hardcore censorship, especially right here on this platform, YouTube. Just a ton of censorship. I mean, so to answer your question, yes, although I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here and give examples. I remember, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, it feels like, maybe even less than that, I would get on YouTube and I would watch some of my favorite channels, watch some of their live streams and videos. And I remember back then, it seemed like even some of the real big YouTubers, like the big ones with millions of views and everything, if my memory serves me right, I remember they used to cuss all the time and they weren't afraid of using vulgar language. Not that I'm not saying that's what I'm into. I'm not into, walking around cussing all day, but I'm just using that as an example. I remember lots of YouTubers would say fuck or shit or, use the Lord's name in vain. I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying go out and do that. But now they're afraid to even cuss. And I'm not saying it's their fault. It's the system's fault. The system has gotten so out of hand and strict with these rules and regulations, and that the creators now on like YouTube and other platforms, probably Twitch, it's probably the same everywhere, are afraid to even use a curse word. They're afraid to use the F word. That's just one small example of censorship. Now, I understand threats are a no-no. I would never make a threat to somebody. That's serious. You could get in serious trouble for making a threat. I'm not advocating doing that. I'm just saying you should be allowed to throw out an explicit word, the F word, whatever, once in a while. You shouldn't have to worry about getting in trouble or losing money or sponsors if you have a really popular platform. You shouldn't have to fear for stuff like that. Same thing with the whole BLM community. You got to be careful what you say nowadays. You can't walk around openly using, sometimes you can't even use the word black. You say, hey, look at that black guy over there or that black chick. Sometimes they don't even like you doing that, and you're just trying to describe a person. But that's a no-no. you know, you can't even say things like, "Oh, that's a gay couple over there," and not even in a bad way, but you're just pointing them out. I I don't know. And another good example of all the censorship and everything is just so um, strict. Uh, Papa John, I think all of you guys know. He lost his role, his gig as CEO of Papa John's what was it, a couple years ago now. Um, and at first, when I heard the news, I thought, oh, it's because he said something against black people. That's what I thought. Then after I read the report, and I'm sure many of you already know this, he never even said anything racist against blacks. You know what happened? He was on Papa John Schnatter, I think his name is. John Schnatter was on a conference call with somebody with, I don't know, I think it was somebody with the company. And it was one of them business conference calls. And I think he was in his office on the phone. And he was basically talking to the guy about how he said, and I'm just, I'm not going to quote him word for word because I don't have it in front of me, but I'm paraphrasing. He basically said to the guy on the phone, he said, it's crazy how times have changed over, the last 50 years, 40, 50 years. He said, Colonel Sanders, the guy who started KFC, used to openly call people the N-word. He would openly call black people the N-word all the time. And back then, people didn't think anything of it. And that's all John said. John said on the phone, isn't that amazing how back then Colonel used to call blacks the N-word? And that's what got Papa John fired. He wasn't using the N-word. He was just describing another guy that used to use the N-word, Colonel Sanders. And how can you lose your job? You're making millions and millions and millions of dollars over talking about what somebody else used to do. That doesn't even make any sense. Papa John, oh my God, he didn't even do anything wrong. That's another example of, how heavily censored as a country we are. And I'd say the world. Basically, it's the whole world now. You can't even talk about what someone else did without getting in trouble. Because when the news first broke that he was basically terminated from being the CEO, they pushed him out of the board member group. I thought, oh, it's because he said something racist. And then I come to find out, no, he never said anything racist. All he said was Colonel Sanders, KFC owner, used to openly use the N-word back in like the 60s and 50s and 60s. And he was just describing how different the world was back then, how guys would openly use that word. He didn't say the N-word. John Schnatter, the Papa John's CEO, he didn't say it. He was just describing someone else that said the N-word. And he loses his job, loses his public reputation and image and money, all because of a conference call over the telephone that he had describing another person. Like, wow. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's just, I'm going to use the word, that's retarded. It's retarded. Borderline. No, it's not borderline retarded. It's beyond retarded. It's idiotic. It's insane. It's asinine. It's stupid. It doesn't even make any sense. I could understand if he would have used that word. Yeah, that's totally different. But he didn't even use the word. But anyways, back to what we're talking about here. Are we too censored? Like I said, yes. I already answered that. We are way too censored. Some people won't even talk about certain things because they're afraid of getting banned or in trouble or doxxed, whatever. Yeah, people need to lighten up. Like I remember about 15 to 20 years ago, which wasn't even that long ago. You could pretty much say whatever the hell you wanted, as long as you weren't like threatening somebody. It's always been against the law to make threats. Obviously, you can't threaten someone's life. I get that. But people used to, throw the F bombs all the time. They used to openly talk about racism and blacks and whites and gays and all of that stuff. People used to openly talk about that kind of stuff. Now, like, people's afraid to even talk about it because, they don't want to get in trouble. And Yeah, I mean, I totally think it's ridiculous. It's retarded. It's idiocracy. That's what it is. It's idiocracy. Um, it, that movie, Idiocracy, if you guys haven't seen it, that movie is basically based on the world we live in today. And this movie came out like 15 or 20 years ago, 15 years ago. They basically called it and predicted how dumb the world was going to turn out. We basically live in the movie Idiocracy because everyone's idiots in this world, complete and utter idiots. Man, I think I need to take a couple Advil. Well, I'm going to try to forget about this topic and think about something more positive, like you guys that support me and help my channel grow by liking these streams, liking these videos, leaving comments down below, and emailing me in the about section, for video requests, like this video that I'm doing right now, which was a request. Also, I do this for free. I have fun doing it. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for any kind of help, donations, yada, 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 none of that stuff. I think I covered everything for this. I really think I did. I think I covered the topic. I answered your question with an emphatic yes, capital Y, capital E, capital S. So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. I'm not sure. I'll have to see if I got any more requests or if I want to just do my own video later, my own stream tonight. I'll see. I may or may not be back on. If not, I'll see you guys soon. You guys have a great start of your new week, Monday. It's rainy and cloudy here. We got thunder showers coming in through Ohio here. So if you guys live in this part of the world, stay dry, stay indoors. Anyways, peace out, guys. Have a great day.